Everything woke turns
Go home to mommy.
turns
Go home to mommy.
turns
Go home to mommy.
everything woke turns
Go home to mommy.
turns
Go home to mommy.
turns
Go home to mommy.
everything woke turns
Go home to mommy.
turns
Go home to mommy.
turns
Go home to mommy.
everything woke turns
Go home to mommy.
turns
Go home to mommy.
turns
Go home to mommy.
Instead of leaving an F in the chat, leave a thumbs up on this video because it is the beginning of the end for woke media. Not only has Buzzfeed essentially collapsed in the last 2 years, as of yesterday, the biggest pile of garbage in woke media, Vice, has collapsed. Rip in pepperonis. Nobody will ever miss your garbage outlet. I don't care. You know, a lot of times people say, oh, well, even me, like, I don't really want to celebrate people losing jobs. Don't care about Vice, whose most of their reporters' sole job was funding a machine completely dedicated to pushing Democratic National Committee propaganda and ruining people's lives if they disagree with it. So leave a like on the video, give it a share, write a comment down below, rest in, pick your own word, Vice Media, as even CNN admits the hollowing out of Vice and Buzzfeed marks the end of the digital media revolution. Oops, sorry, no it doesn't. That's a cope, my friends. In fact, the digital media revolution is right here. Whether you're watching on YouTube, BitChute, Odyssey, or Rumble, that's the revolution. They kept pushing their old model while the rest of us were out here on the ground grinding, working to build audiences by being truthful to them and not lying to them. And look at that. They've stuck around. By the way, I'll be celebrating this officially on my 1 o'clock Eastern stream, by the way, as I picked the wrong window to capture. My 1 o'clock Eastern stream over on the rumble.coms. And of course, just want to remind you, the computer I'm using right now, the computer I recommend to my friends and family, comes from Meta PCs. Promo code The Quartering, one word, will save you money. They're veteran owned. They have custom builds. They have financing. They have laptops, desktops. You can pick from this list I put together with them of kind of a good, better, best ultimate build. The ultimate build is what I currently use, but there is so much more you can completely customize. You want to pick Intel processor, you want to pick AMD, you want to pick your GPU, whatever you want. Promo code The Quartering, or the link, follow the link in the description down below. It'll take you right to this page where I laid everything out for you. Now, the hollowing out of Vice and Buzzfeed marks the end of the digital revolution. Its two leaders, the digital media revolution is over. Its two leaders, Vice Media and Buzzfeed, are in frenetic retreat, surrendering much of their online empires as they try to protect what remains of their core assets, which is nothing. Having once threatened to upend the entire industry and usher in a new era of digital news distribution and monetization, the former digital media darlings are now merely attempting to survive in any form they can. As they retreat, their large newsroom, once filled with rows of journalist losers, are shutting down, shutting off the lights, closing their doors. Buzzfeed, already slimmed down after several waves of layoffs, announced this week that it will slash another 16% of its staff as it undergoes, quote, planned strategic restructuring to reduce costs. And Vice Media said Thursday it will lay off hundreds of staffers and cease publishing on its own website and pivots into a business that resembles a studio. Here's what's happening. All these people, all these companies that got fat off listicles and clickbait and stuff, that's gone. Like, look, I've told you before, the old way to make money, ad revenue, is rapidly changing. Over the last 6 months, given similar views year over year, my ad revenue has come down about 50%, 40%, meaning I'm making about half of what I was last year. But you pivot. You work with strategic partnerships like I did with Meta PCs, promo code The Quartering. You start your own coffee company, coffeebrandcoffee.com. You find a way to survive, pivot, move. Instead of being a huge ship in the harbor, we're like these little jet skis, nimbly bimbly, bouncing around, and we're able to adjust to that. Sure, it was a bit of a haircut, but I'm not laying anybody off. Kept all my staff and all that kind of stuff. Quote, it's devastating to have a group of reporters who have made such a significant impact in the world that their jobs end this way. One senior Vice media staffer told me about the ugly state of affairs. All digital publishers have struggled in recent years as they navigate brutal industry headwinds brought on by a softened advertising market now dominated by big tech titans and plummeting referral traffic. Not to mention the looming threat of AI also brought on by big tech titans. But one of the things that I've hated, by the way, about X, YouTube, and really all these big tech people, and ultimately they stopped allowing really anybody to refer traffic off their website. I hated it when Elon did it with X. YouTube's done it for years, and it sucks. They'll bury videos, like even in this video where I talk about Meta. If I have the link in their description, it won't do as well. They want to keep you on their website. I understand from a business perspective why they do that, but now Vice Media can't put out rage bait on Twitter and profit from it anymore. That's a big part of it. The demise of Vice Media as we know it is a particularly hard pill to swallow. Staffers at the outlet, who I'm told receive severance if they fall under the knife, caught wind that something was awry many hours before Chief Executive Bruce Dixon delivered his memo. Ahead of the announcement, the mood inside of Vice Media was grim. Staffers struggled to work amid rumors circulating about the outlet's fate, with one staffer telling me that it was like watching the violinist play aboard the sinking Titanic. Yeah, except there were actually innocent people on the Titanic. Then, late in the 3 p.m. Eastern hour, New York Times' Benjamin Mullen confirmed their worst fears, reporting that mass layoffs were en route. Finally, around 5 p.m., Dixon officially informed his workforce of the excruciating, I'm sure for him, multi-millionaire, decision and drastic changes the company would face and would implement under its new private equity owners led by Fortress Investment Group. Now, this is the common fate for a lot of this old guard, this old woke media trash, is that they get bought out by some nameless, faceless company like G&O Media, who bought Kotaku and Jezebel and Jalopnik and all those websites. I think The Onion too. I can't. None of these websites are owned by their original owners anymore. They've all been bought out by nameless, faceless corporations who are trying to squeeze the last few pennies out of them. Dixon said in his note that Vice Media had determined it was no longer cost-effective for the company to distribute its digital content on its own. Instead, he said they will look to partner with established media companies to distribute their digital content, including news on their global platforms, as well as transition to a studio model. No word on who those partners might be. The company also has to determine what to do with Refinery 29 and Motherboard, another leftist outlet. Dixon said that Vice Media is in advanced talks to sell the former, and I'm told that a number of discussions are underway on what to do with Motherboard, one of the possibilities being to license the tech-focused vertical to another company that would operate it a la Sports Illustrated model. Well, again, all of these companies decided that they wanted to get into politics. They wanted to get woke. Okay, if you go to Motherboard, they went from writing about technology to writing hit pieces that rumble with some alt-right, whatever, this, that, and every other thing, enabling hate speech. Motherboard wrote those articles, Engadget wrote those articles. Now they need Rumble. Now they need new tech, don't they? Let's see. Rip in peace, Vice. This is from Anna Slatz. How I discovered liberation through fisting. The communist hookup workers doing the meth-fueled week-long hookups ravaging London's. The far right are uniting around their right to, quote, free speech. So they're anti-free speech. Fat phobia exists, and it's especially bad in the bedroom. Are these how to eat out a non-operated trans woman? These are the journalists that we're losing. We talked to a professional cuck about the alt-right. Oh no, how will we get by? Most people who do terrible things to kids are actually not that bad. this is the reporting we're losing. Anti-free speech degeneracy. This isn't reporting. This is essentially, they got big off, clickbaiting and hate baiting. Then they couldn't do that anymore because nobody would actually go to Vice. They would just see their rage bait on Twitter or Facebook or any of these other outlets, and then they would go click over to their website. They would get an ad impression. That's how it worked. Except not anymore. You see Razorfist with F's in the chat. The fall of Vice Media explained in 2 minutes. Vice is effectively being shut down. However, will we cope without a website that has an entire section devoted to the virtuous peds? Tim Pool claims that he could have saved Vice. I don't know about that, dude. I don't know. That's a bit of a weird thing to say. The Vice content management system has been unilaterally turned off. Tells you a lot about how the company has been run over the past year. There is sadness, of course, at Vice.com. Closing, there should also be anger. Nobody cares. There isn't a single person mourning the loss of Vice. Justin, Vice Media wants to stop publishing or stop publishing Vice.com. Nobody cares. Bye. Nobody cares. This website, it's gone. I want to dunk on Tim and say, you looking to hire add a virtual ped section? This is what's happening. Those who can adapt do change their model. They sell coffee beans at deliciouscoffeebrandcoffee.com. That's when you have your favorite creator and you shop their sponsors or you shop their items or you give them super chats or you do super thanks or whatever they call them. That's how we survive now. The thing is, Vice Media didn't have loyal viewers. They just had people that they whipped up into rage. And I won't miss them one bit. Rest in piss, Vice. You won't be missed. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. We'll talk to you again real soon.